Hey, my name's Leslie Morris, and I live in Melbourne, Australia. We're currently on day, 230-ish of lockdown. We've had 6 lockdowns over 18 months. This has played out in 2 really long ones and a few short ones. We're currently towards the end of the second long one, or should I say we hope. In the first lockdown, we successfully suppressed the virus. Good on us. Life went back to normal enough. That's when the federal government failed to do 2 things: acquire suitable quantities of the vaccine and construct custom-built quarantine facilities. With a mostly unvaccinated, unprotected nation, Delta hit New South Wales. The New South Wales state government spent the majority of Victoria's first lockdown bragging about how good they were and how they would never go into a lockdown. They failed to lock down in time, and with that, condemning most of the country with them. Thanks, New South Wales, I wasn't using that 2021 anyway. Listen, I'm fine. This isn't one of those videos where I talk about how hard it is. I'm fine. My job and my rental are stable enough. My main responsibility in life is my cat, and she's very excited that I'm home all the time, and she's all about her new prickly brush, which makes her feel and look good. But it's been a long time. At first, I would tell people that I was COVID okay, playing the phrase COVID normal. And this statement is true, but it's starting to feel less, as we're currently in a weird place. With the first lockdown, we had so many unknowns. Was COVID really this bad? Will they ever find a vaccine? In this lockdown, there's none. The solution is as clear as the problem. All we have to do is get vaxxed, sit back, and relax. But that's also kind of the hardest part. No one can truly relax, as there's always this underlying low-level anxiety that's there day after day after day. It's difficult to articulate any of this in a way that's interesting, because quite frankly it's not. The lockdown is boring. There's no drama, there's no sizzle. It's an endurance race of utter tedium. Staring at screens, different ones, my phone, my tablet, my TV, staring at the window, staring at the walls. You get outside and go for a walk, and you stare at the same paths, the same houses, the same trees, the same cars, and you do this all with no reprieve. And then on top of that, literally everyone you know is in exactly the same situation and has been for 18 months. So what do you even say? You do the only thing you can do. You make a self-indulgent internet video, which is your ramblings and muses about everyone's favorite subject, the lockdown. Let's talk about mental health. So I know when I'm tired, I skip things that keep me mentally well. Yoga? Nope. Meditation? That can fuck off. Keeping a gratitude journal? Just there's not enough going on to write anything. And I know when I stop these things, it's a bad idea and it just results in me feeling worse. But I still engage in the endless cycle of starting these things, then stopping after the immediate results fade, feeling terrible, and starting them again, only to stop. Admittedly, I've been doing this cycle of behavior my entire life, even outside of lockdown. On bad days, I have just enough brain juice to do my job. Then I lay in my bed and watch UK panel shows. This is where I'm at mentally and spiritually. On good days, I read, I catch up with old friends. When I talk to my regular friends, we have no small talk, so we just do big talk. Do you believe in a god? Are we in a simulation? Are you a non-playable character? FYI, I point blank asked my friend that the other day. She didn't say no, which really says it all. The lockdown does have its upside. It really puts everything into a laser-sharp focus. You understand what you really value and what little you need in your life to be content. No, this isn't one of those videos where I talk about how you should appreciate every day and everything. It's almost the opposite. It took me by about day 50 of the first lockdown to get this laser sharp focus. The problem is, there's been about 200 additional days, and I have no deeper introspection. I just don't have enough intra to inspect. And I won't bore you with all of my new interests, as they're all male, white, middle-aged things. And, well, you're kind of looking at one of them right now. And yes, a podcast is coming. And yes, for the first time in my life, I've managed to keep plants alive. And you can follow my photography on Instagram. And all of this is fine. I have no problems with the lockdown. Let's protect each other. I have a problem with the fact that we had to do it again. It could have been avoided, or at the very least, shorter. We're here because our government failed to do their job on such a profound level. They are exhausting and have been for the past 8 years. And no, this isn't one of those videos where I talk about how useless the government is. No, that's kind of a lie. That's exactly what this video is. In terms of modern Australia, they haven't been in power for most of our widespread national emergencies. All they've ever done is sat back and criticized the opposition, proclaiming how much better that they would be. They failed on a level that no one could have imagined. These lockdowns, this debt, these deaths could have been avoided if they just did their job. It would have been their easiest road to re-election. But honestly, Australia is dumb enough to vote them back in. Our catchphrase is that we're the lucky country, not the smart one. I remember at the end of the first lockdown, I was at my desk. I heard the restrictions were being lifted and we were going back to normal enough. It felt like a weight had lifted from my chest. I slumped in my chair, and for the first time in a long time, I felt relaxed. And I realized that I didn't know that I hadn't been.